Hello and welcome back to the Golden Capsule. Before we start, please make sure to like and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to make sure you won't miss anything anytime a new video is coming up. Not to mention it will help me and the channel grow. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Let's begin. How to read someone instantly, 14 tricks. Have you ever wished you could tell immediately if someone was telling the truth? Or maybe you want to get to know a date better to see if it's worth your time. There is no way to learn everything about a person at once. However, if you know what you're looking for, you can get a pretty good idea of what a person really is. Try asking yourself these questions when meeting someone. You might be surprised at the insight you get. 1. How do they dress? Their outfits can provide clues to their personality or lifestyle. Look for anything that stands out in their fashion selections. A person who wears designer clothes may care too much about their appearance and what others think of them. On the other hand, a young mom wearing a hoodie with jeans and a messy bun can be hard on time for herself. A bright pair of socks can show he has a great sense of humor, or a nice watch can show you he cares about being on time. Someone wearing light or bold clothing may be more noticeable, while someone who chooses a modest style with neutral tones may prefer to stay out of the limelight. A person who dresses in fashion can resist power. Someone wearing a classic, timeless style can appreciate tradition and predictability. Also, look for items that reflect their beliefs, such as a bracelet with a religious symbol or a t-shirt from a brand that promotes wildlife conservation. 2. What do their facial expressions say? There are 7 basic emotions that we express with our faces. They are joy, anger, surprise, fear, anger, sadness, and contempt, and they are often pretty obvious clues to how someone is feeling. However, there are more subtle facial clues that can give you even more information about what's going on. These may include: raise an eyebrow if they're happy to see you. Squint if their smile is genuine. Squinting if they disagree or are confused. Pursed lips can mean anger, bitterness, or contempt. Squeezing jaws can be a sign of stress or anger. Show their actual expressions only for a fraction of a second, known as micro-expressions. 3. Is the person making eye contact? Eye contact is often a sign that a person is confident. If someone makes eye contact with you when you meet them, it probably means that they are confident and comfortable in a social setting. If they don't make eye contact, they may be unsure of themselves, although it's important to note that some people find it difficult to make eye contact even when they're confident. Pay attention to what you can see in the person's eyes. Do they seem warm and inviting or cold and harsh? Do they really care what you have to say? Do they look resentful? 4. Is their body language open or closed? Their posture can tell you how comfortable they feel. If the person is sitting or standing with their arms extended and their shoulders back, they are probably feeling comfortable and confident. It could be a sign that they are ready to interact with you. On the other hand, if his arms are crossed and his shoulders are stooped, he may be trying to close himself in, so he may be feeling nervous or hiding something. Pay attention to their hands. If their fingers are far apart, they're probably feeling confident. If their hands are closed, they may feel less secure. Remember that this is just a possible clue about a person's general behavior and personality. On its own, it may not make much sense, but when you put it in other ways, you can read more deeply into people. 5. Do they seem relaxed or restless? Constant restlessness can be a sign that someone is stressed or anxious. You might notice him touching his face or hair, scratching his fingers, biting his lip, or tapping his leg. It's hard to say exactly what makes him so nervous that he becomes agitated, so don't jump to conclusions. Just write it down and see how it affects your overall impression. Other nervous movements may include touching your neck, rubbing your hands, or rubbing your chest. 6. Do they find reasons to touch you? Physical contact means they are attracted to you. If you're dating someone you might be interested in, notice them rubbing their hands, arms, or legs against you. These little bumps could be their way of testing the waters to see if they appeal to you. Observe how they behave with others. How often do they hug others or pat them on the shoulder? If so, that might just be the way they do it with people. Other signs that your partner finds you attractive include tilting his body toward you or subconsciously mimicking your movements. 7. How do they answer basic questions? This can give you a basis for their behavior. Try asking questions like "Where are you from?" and "What do you like to do for fun?" These are questions most people would answer honestly, so it's a great way to understand how the person acts when telling the truth. Ask these questions in a warm and conversational way. The more comfortable you make the person feel, the more authentic they will be. Note their voice, the force with which they speak, their facial expressions, and body language as they answer these basic questions. 8. What causes them to deviate from the baseline? Small changes can be a sign that they are uncomfortable. Once you see how the person looks when they feel comfortable and natural, it's easier to tell when they're feeling stressed, anxious, or upset. Understanding the location of these sensitive areas can provide insight into the person below the surface of the person. You may notice that they seem tense if you ask about their family, for example. This is a good sign that their relationship is struggling. They may blush or stutter when talking about their work. It could be a sign that they feel insecure about what they are doing for a living. If they suddenly get louder while they're talking, you've probably hit something that's enthralled them or angered them. 9. Are there any clues that might indicate a lie? Some people may subconsciously signal that they are lying. Unfortunately, there's no universal gift that tells you someone is dishonest. However, if a person does any of these things while speaking, pay attention to what they just said, which is most likely wrong. Some of them include touching your face or hair, sweat a lot, clear your throat or have a drink, avoid eye contact or staring, speak louder than usual, use lots of extra words like or ah, pale face, roll your eyes back and forth, blink quickly. 10. Do they talk more than they listen? It may show that the person is self-centered. Do you feel like you have enough time to share your thoughts in the conversation? If a person doesn't take the time to listen to the person they're talking to, they may struggle with qualities like empathy. This doesn't necessarily mean they're a bad person, but it can be helpful to know early on if someone tends to be self-centered. If you leave the conversation feeling like they don't want to get to know you, they may have a narcissistic personality. However, some people feel nervous and talk a lot when meeting someone for the first time, so keep in mind that this is only one piece of the overall puzzle. 11. Do they brag about their assets or achievements? They may be trying to impress you. Some people think it's important to get the approval of others. If you chat with someone and they constantly mention how much money they make, how many cars they own, or how many followers on Insta, they may be obsessed with appearances. This might make the person appear arrogant, but it's actually a sign that deep down they're struggling with some insecurities. 12. Do they speak ill of others? Small talk can be a sign of a toxic personality. Chances are, if someone is willing to put others down when they're not around, they'll do the same to you. If you notice this, it's probably best to avoid any close personal relationships with this person. For example, if you are dating and someone has a lot of negative things to say about their ex, it could be a sign that they are not taking responsibility on their part for what happened in the past. 13. Can cultural differences affect your impressions? Consider how this might affect their body language. It can be very difficult to read someone if you are only judging them based on your own experience. For example, in some cultures, eye contact is rude. If you ignore this, you may feel like the person is being dishonest because they won't look you in the eye. A person's culture can also affect how close they are to you, how they shake hands, and even how quickly they respond after you ask them a question. 14. What does your instinct tell you? Add them all, then add your intuition. There are a lot of clues you can use to learn about someone, but there are also things that aren't easy to pinpoint, like the type of energy they exhibit. If you have a certain feeling about someone, ask yourself where they come from and look for evidence that will tell you whether that feeling is good or bad. For example, if your intuition tells you that someone is upset, you can pick up on subconscious signs that you don't immediately notice. Then you may find that the person always looks down and speaks in a low voice for most of the conversation. Intuition isn't always perfect, but with time and experience, you can learn to control your instincts about people. Congratulations, you have reached the end of the video. If you enjoyed this video, give it thumbs up and share it with your friends so we can keep making those kind of videos for you. Please make sure to click like and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell too so you won't miss anything anytime a new video is coming up, and continue to watch the next video in which we will try to better answer frequently asked questions on different topics and feed gold to your mind. We want to know what you think. Let us know in the comments below. Also, be sure to check out our other videos as well. Hope you enjoyed our time together. Thanks for watching and see you on the next video.